Bill Maher reacted to Kamala Harris running for governor of California as well as president again in 4 years, and I thought it was pretty funny what he said.
Should Kamala Harris run for California governor in 2026 after polls show her leading? I'm going to give that a big no.
She's had her chance several times.
She should run far, far away.
I'm a Villaraigosa guy. I like Antonio Villaraigosa, the old mayor of LA.
Oh.
I think he's terrific.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was in the running. I think Kamala Harris would make a great president of a university. Not that she's a bad person or a bad candidate or she's smart, but, it didn't work. And by the way, if she does, there would be precedent for this because Nixon lost the White House in 1960. And then what did he do? He ran for governor of California 2 years later. It would be the same scenario. And when he lost that one, that's when he said, you won't have Nixon to kick around anymore. And then he was president 6 years later, so maybe it'll work.
She is a bad person. She is a bad candidate, contrary to what Bill Maher says there. But he is right that Kamala Harris could be part of American politics for a long time because she's fairly young. I mean, when you look at our politicians, you look at Joe Biden and Donald Trump, Kamala Harris looks like a youngin'. And I don't think Democrats at this point really know the difference between good and bad candidates. So you look at Kamala Harris and you think, yeah, like she could be around for 10, 15, 20 years. Joe Biden, ran for president a very long time ago. Do people really think back then that he was going to run for president and even be our president in 2021? I don't think many people would have said that. The same could be true for Kamala Harris. I don't think she's going to win, but could she run for a president in, 2036? Like it could happen. And I know it sounds crazy, but it really could. A couple weeks ago, I went over the most recent polling for who Democrats want to be their nominee in 2028. And this week, we got even newer polling that I want to show you guys because it's really fascinating and it just seems the Democrats don't learn. So here you go. This is from Echelon. It says, for those of you who are just listening, I'll read it out loud for you. 2028 National Democratic Primary, and there's also a shift on there since November 18th, just after she lost. But Harris is in the lead. She's got 36%, which early on is pretty sizable. And you see this is a very long list, which is pretty normal. And I do predict that the field will be kind of wide open in terms of it will look like 2016 Republican Party. If you remember in 2016, there were like dozens and dozens of people running for the GOP nomination. I think the same will be true for the Democrat primary. I think Harris, she's got a sizable chance at winning when you start out with 36%. Underneath her is Buttigieg at 10%, so he's nowhere even close, and he's number two. Tim Walz, 9%. I laugh. You just can't make this up. You're like, Harris, Buttigieg, and Walz are their top people? Really? Anyway, I'll keep going down the list without reacting for now. Newsom is at 6%. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is at 5%. We'll talk more about her in the next segment. Gretchen Whitmer at 4%. Mark Cuban at 3%. What? Josh Shapiro, 3%. Crockett, 2%. John Fetterman, 2%. Hey, John Fetterman, not a bad guy. We'll talk about him again as well. Booker, 2%. Pritzker, 2%. Warnock, 2%. Paul, I don't even know who these people are, like, honestly. I know a couple of these people. Like, Warnock is the new senator at Georgia. Paulus, who the heck is that? Andy Bashir, we know who that is. Gallego is the new senator in Arizona. No one knows who he is. And then at 0%, they threw in Stephen A. Smith. Like, okay, I like Stephen A. Smith as much as any guy, but he's not going to be president. I'm sorry. He's no Donald Trump, essentially, right? I think that's what the Democrats are going for is like, he's going to be our Donald Trump. No, he's not. So basically, guys, what I get from these polls is that they're completely inverted, honestly. Like if you look at these people, the best candidates with some exceptions, and again, there's really no good candidate. That's not what I'm saying here. But I'm just saying if I'm a Democrat and I'm looking at these people, the best are at the bottom and the worst are at the top. Like the worst, truly, really the worst, are in order: Harris, Buttigieg, Walz, Newsom, AOC. And those are the top five. Those are actually the worst people. And then towards the bottom, you have some people, again, that I'm like, okay, it's a little interesting. Like Warnock, he's a senator in a purple state. He's kind of unproven, but I don't think he's pissed anyone off. So not an awful idea. You have John Fetterman. If I'm a Democrat, John Fetterman is a compelling choice. And then Josh Shapiro only has 3%. Josh Shapiro is a governor, a very popular governor of a purple state that just went for Donald Trump. So I'm looking at, if I'm a Democrat, I think Josh Shapiro is the best move by far. But again, it's inverted here. And what that really shows you, by the way, I talk a lot about the Democrat elite. The Democrat elite is completely out of touch. They do crazy things all the time. But what this means is it's not just the Democrat elite that is out of touch. Essentially what it means is, I think, all the sane Democrats, because there were plenty of sane Democrats out there, they just, didn't like the Republican nominee for whatever reason, or they wanted to influence the Democrat Party. But all the sane ones have left, and they're in the Republican Party right now. And only thing remaining for Democrats are the crazy people that want to see Kamala Harris run again. Or if not Kamala Harris, they want Tim Walz, who lied about literally everything for no reason, like things that did not matter at all. He just lied about because that's what he wanted to do. Again, and that's the only remaining Democrats left, is that's what they want. So good luck with that. Because of that, though, what you're going to see probably in 2028 is debates between Kamala Harris. Just think about this for a second. Kamala Harris and J.D. Vance or Ron DeSantis. And I think that's going to be an absolute bloodbath. But, guys, I do look forward to it. Business owners, listen up. If you manage remote workers, you're going to love the partner of this show, Monetask. Monetask is a powerful time tracking and employee monitoring software designed for remote teams and businesses. Monetask is perfect for agencies, freelancers, or if you just manage a remote team and want insight into work hours without having to micromanage them, because no one wants to do that. With Monetask, you get automatic time tracking, URL and app monitoring to see where work hours go, reports and analytics for better project management, payroll integration to streamline payments, and stealth mode for 24/7 productivity insights. I love Monetask because it's incredibly easy to get started with their no credit card required 10-day free trial, so there's no risk to you. If you manage freelancers or remote workers, you got to go check them out. They're a game changer for your business. Go check them out right now at monetask.com, or you can go to the link in the description below. Again, that's monetask.com, monitask.com. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.